It's time once again back to the Matrix. It's Stevie B. We're here to talk about tonight's matchup. The Boston Celtics play the Cleveland Cavaliers, tied for first place, Eastern Conference. And as a matter of fact, LeBron having been quoted as saying, he'd been to six straight finals. Don't come ask him about a regular season game, and that's legit. I respect that. You gotta respect that. That's of King James to be able to say. Um, what I will say is that the game definitely means everything for the Boston Celtics. I don't think it even matters to Cleveland. I think to some of the other players from they have players that are particularly confident in their game. And Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love is one of those guys who's just gonna shoot. I mean, some people may say he seems timid sometimes, just as from a defensive, straight up standpoint. But I think he's around too many hard nosed guys to, and LeBron, definitely knows how to get him going. At least knows how to attempt to. J.R. Smith, everybody knows that man has no fear. Um, Tristan Thompson, well, I think is going to be out for tonight's game, which is a plus to us from the boards. However, that doesn't let them off the hook in any way. We still need to come out and do what we have to do. Um, Everything looks like if the Celtics take this game, I believe they're gonna, will themselves to. And there's no if. I expect them to will themselves to take this game, come out strong, and attempt to will themselves, into controlling their own destiny. And it'd be nice to see, especially when it matters, and you got these guys playing every game they can and playing together. You know. So with that said, I'm not going to put out a prediction. Basketball is totally too difficult to do such things like that. Obviously, I expect the Celtics to win. I I can't wait to see Jalen Brown tonight and see what he starts to do. I said Brown reminds me of Paul Pierce when he was younger, but from a game standpoint, I feel more like he reminds me of Jeff Green's game in terms of his length, his 3 point ability, his ability to get to the hole and finish at the hole. But I feel like he's a very crafty guy at the hole, and he's gonna put it in. So at any particular time, Jalen Brown comes in, and you've started to know if you've been watching these last few games, you may have started to notice that he has been given the ball in not necessarily straight ISO situations yet, but they're leaning that way, and uh, he's a great player. He's a great player up in the making, and all he really needs is the ball in his hands more. He really needs to make his mistakes and keep on going. And I believe I saw some mistakes defensively during the year and such like that, but as an offensive player, he's always been particular, and he's let it come to him. Uh, and his confidence has only grown because of it. He wasn't put in a position. This is number three pick, guys. He wasn't put in a position where they, like a lot of these high draft picks, or especially, you got top five picks that they put into these starting lineups, and they're expecting these guys to, grow immediately. And some of them are ready. Some of them, obviously, NBA players pick up on their game, and there are growing pains. And I'm sure, had Jalen Brown were put in that situation, he would have shown his ability, but the potential growing pains would have been there. And I feel like the Celtics have him in the best situation that he could have been in. And they're starting to look for him in his game, and that's just an added weapon. And the Cavaliers know it. LeBron knows it. Isaiah Thomas, I can't wait to see what he's able to do now with Tristan Thompson out as well. I don't look at Kevin Love as a shot blocker. You have a guy like Al Horford to take him out of the paint. You have a guy like Kelly Olynyk to take him out of the paint. And I look to see what happens on that end, because LeBron can't sneak away from Jay Crowder. He can't sneak away from Jalen Brown. He can't sneak away from, you dare I say, Jonas Jerebko. Again, like I said, he can't sneak away from any of our guys, because as long as we play our game to open the game and do not allow anyone to sneak off position defensively and get, and they can, we really just have to control the ball to begin the game. Don't allow careless turnovers. Don't let the nerves get to anybody. Should that be a particular issue, let them come in here and make a mistake, because they're not coming in here. They're coming in here thinking there's nothing to fear, as they try to do every time, as they do with everybody. All right, but the Cavaliers have a lot to fear, and our team more than any in the East. So, with that said, I expect a big game out of Isaiah Thomas. Look for Jaylen Brown. And then you have to remember that having Al Horford and Avery Bradley really, really sets this thing off, okay? Those two guys have veteran savvy and are particularly good at in terms of defensively playing their positions in this league. They're up at the top in terms of their knowledge and their ability, their output. Al Horford's been looking fresh, and I think he's ready as a player to explode offensively for us, especially in a game like this, where I expect the Cavaliers to find a way to key in on Isaiah Thomas. I don't think it's going to stop them. It didn't the last game, and I don't think it's going to stop this, Isaiah Thomas, is what I mean to say. But ultimately, the Celtics will pull a win out. How it turns out, or how it comes, whether it comes down to the final minutes, whether it's something the Celtics can maintain control over, is solely up to them. I believe if the Celtics come out in the beginning of this game and take their time, play defense, move the ball, don't allow the Cavaliers to play what they think they can play as a sneaky defense, trying to get steals and anticipate, because honestly, that's the only potential within the Cavaliers defense is turnover ability. And if you rotate the ball and you're playing solid ball, you're not making careless decisions. And that means you, Marcus Smart. That means you. That means you. Okay? We know no careless passes today, Marcus Smart. Be you. Go tough. Go hard. Get fouled, because that's the thing that is going to be huge in this game. Isaiah Thomas, and I don't understand why no one seems to think that Isaiah Thomas. No, you know what? I'm not going to say it, because this is how this man operates. The lack of respect is how this man operates, and he continues to prove it night and night again. The free throw line, by virtue of the free throw line, Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, even Jaylen Brown, all these guys, Al Horford, with the lack of Tristan Thompson in the middle, all these guys could potentially be at the free throw line, and that's how their game. That those guys, especially when they go to the hole, is what I'm saying. Those guys, when they go to the hole, they tend to get fouled. So let's look for what's happening tonight. Go Celtics. It's all or nothing. This has been a beautiful ride this year, watching the development of this team. And if they win tonight, then they will take the East, and that means big things going into this playoffs, because when the Celtics win tonight, everyone will fear them tomorrow morning. The whole media conversation will change to, well, what exactly are we saying about the Wizards, who the Celtics just beat last week or a week or so ago? The Wizards are a team who I feel is very limited in terms of talent. Not necessarily talent from this guy can play, this guy can play. Gortat, Beal, those are good guys, and then you have Wall, who's a beast. But I feel like everyone at some point in the game is waiting for Wall to tell them what to do or show them what to do, or unless you got a high-low going with Gortat and they're both in the game at the same time, that other players are going to succumb to their inexperience come these playoffs. And they're not deep in experience. Brandon Jennings should be a much better player than a backup to John Wall right now, but he's not. I put him in the Darren Williams category. Darren Williams should be one of the greats in the game, spearheading a championship
potential team. Should have been, at least. I don't know what the hell happened to these guys. Injury bar none. You can see an athletic build, and you can see in athletic play what these guys have stricken themselves to. The Celtics have the advantage. If no one can see that, then watch tonight's game. I dare you to watch tonight's game. All right. This is the shout out to everybody out there who thinks that I'm going to send this to Wizards fans. I'm going to send this to all of y'all. Raptors fans, Bucks fans, anybody that really thinks they have their team together. You watch tonight's game and let's see what happens. Stevie B signing out.